Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Not many businesses can say they've made it 60 years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays. Games of bowling, shoe rental, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
Attention all wing fans! Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 89-cent boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.29 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today at 68th and O or in Williamsburg Village.
I used to smoke. I thought of cigarettes as my best friend.
They were always there for me when I needed a break.
I also thought cigarettes were my best friend, and then they gave me peripheral artery disease.
I smoked and had a stroke. Actually, multiple strokes.
I smoked and have heart disease.
Here's my tip. If cigarettes are your friend, you need a better friend.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's Ella Fiber, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela. They let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit allofiber.com to switch today.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Chancellor Brewington.
All right, welcome in. What's Brewing? Chancellor Brewington, streaming only. We got college hoops, March Madness hoops to be specific on the Brick and Mortar, Facebook, YouTube, X, I Love Channel 961. All great ways to put a face to the voice. You guys can still join in via the Starter Heyman text line, 402-464-5685. That is the way to join the show. Chancellor Brewington, how's it going on a Thursday night?
It's going great. It's going great. Yesterday was insane.
The snow?
The snow was crazy.
Yeah.
That was crazy. You predicted it, too.
Oh, well, I can read weather.gov never leads you astray.
I said, so
apologies for anybody who wanted to take a weeknights really bad last night. We had to put a stomp on that.
Yeah.
Reading the weather, I wasn't. I think you know, in hindsight, being 2020, we probably would have been all right. But at about 3:00, I was like, this is looking dreadful out here. And then I had so many cancellations. I was like, we're just going to save lives today and make sure nobody has to drive through late. It would have been fine. Like I said, hindsight's always 2020. It got warm really fast, even in the middle of the night, to where that ice wasn't quite sticking. But
Really?
yeah, it was. I mean, the roads were still crap. Don't get me wrong. But it's just crazy to go today, and you couldn't even tell we had one of the worst blizzards in the year.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, dirty storm.
Yeah, my car's
filthy.
My car's all like brown. Like,
my snow melted off my car, and I was like scraping it all off, and I was like, just like mud.
Well,
mud blizzard.
I was gonna go get a car wash, but I think it's about to rain in a day, right? Or a couple days or something like that.
Well, ask weather.gov.
They've been right, man.
They always are. They never lead you astray.
They've been right.
Apparently it brought all the dust from like Oklahoma and Texas, and it was a really high pressure storm, so it was just throwing mud down on us because like my car covered in mud. I had to stop at the gas station because I got all the snow off it, and then I was like, man, I still can't hardly see because of all the mud covering my windshield, so I had to stop.
Got you good.
I mean, you saw the cars, right? It's unreal.
Yeah.
Let me check. I think we are supposed to get more rain though. It is spring here officially. Rain on Saturday night.
Okay, so
low chance though.
Low chance. Okay, so I'll wait. I'll give it one more day.
You got a garage?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You're like me then. You just hope and pray that you don't get hail damage.
Yeah. Take the risk, baby. Take the risk. I went for a walk this morning though. It was amazing.
Beautiful.
It was beautiful. It was great. It was great. I was like, wait, is this March or?
It's one of my favorite things to do is taking like when it gets warm enough and you see all the snow melting and just walking, just watching it all go away. You just get tired of the snow. It's just good to see it melt. And it's good for the land too. We got plenty of water. I definitely don't think we're anywhere near a drought with all the snow that we got in the past few weeks here, really.
Yeah, I went on a walk on Holmes Lake the other day. Man, that place is so beautiful. Like this time of year, it's probably my favorite place in Lincoln.
Oh yeah, that used to be my stomping grounds back when I used to be into running a lot. Yeah,
you used to run around there.
Oh yeah, I think it's just like it's a mile and a quarter, so it's not that long.
Really?
Yeah. So it's a nice run, and then it's got that that top hill part. Depending on which side you're running, that's always like your gauntlet where you gotta
grind it out.
Yeah, you gotta like buckle up here and make sure you get enough energy so you don't just completely cramp out, and then you go straight. And if it's really windy, then it just becomes it's a good circuit to go get your legs moving.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful out there. I think it's super peaceful. They have there's this place called Jeans Point. It's like tucked away. It's like you just, if you know type of situation. But you get the best sunsets. Like it sees like it's perfect visual of the sunset over Lincoln. You can see it's like it sets like all over downtown. It's beautiful. But yeah, Holmes Lake will always have a special place in my heart, man.
It's usually not ever as cramped as I ever anticipate it being too, which always surprises me. Because it's like a beautiful lake, and it's usually pretty well maintained. I don't ever see litter around there for the most part.
Yeah,
and I always expect it like the city of Lincoln be out there on a nice day, and it gets busy, sure.
It was busting the other day though.
I guess early spring, people are excited.
Yeah,
you get there in the summer, it opens up.
Remember that first warm day?
Yeah, it was like 80.
Yeah, it was all up out there.
You ever go fishing out there? You need a permit, but
I haven't.
It's fun. I mean, you're not gonna go catch monsters or anything, but it's just a good time killer.
Yeah.
What's the most Midwest thing you do?
Most Midwest thing I do?
Like trapping, fishing, hunting?
No, none of those.
Drink Busch Lights in the garage?
No bushers. No bushers. I listen to occasional Luke Combs.
All right, you beat me there. I don't even listen to.
You don't listen to country?
Nah.
Come on, man.
I don't hate country. I'm not the guy that like when country's on, I'm like, turn that off my ears. I'm not that guy.
Yeah, my sister put me on some Luke Combs.
I like country. I just don't like pop country, if that makes sense. Is Luke Combs pop country or is he traditional?
He's more like if your kids like okay. He not like Morgan Wallen.
Okay, so I like that.
Like it's less pop.
Well, Beyonce won country album of the year, so like country just took on an entire different.
She killed
meaning.
that though.
Stop! Did you listen to the album?
No. I mean that one song.
She killed it though. You
that one song was fire though.
It was okay.
All you need is for one song. It's Beyonce, first of all.
Yeah, but I mean, at this point, she's becoming relevant because of the Kardashians. It's like Kardashians are only relevant because the people mention them all the time. Beyonce's becoming relevant just because people say Beyonce all the time. She's got some great work. Her start's better than the Kardashians. Don't get me wrong, but in terms of her, like her popularity today, just feels like it lives off of relevancy. Because that country album sucked. Like I don't care what you say.
Yeah, I didn't listen to that. I don't know why I said it was good.
Well, the one song,
the one song
was
good.
good.
The Texas song, the Texas anthem that she performed at the Super Bowl,
Mm-hmm.
that was fire.
That was good. There was just a lot of really good country artists, so that's why. And I'm not a country guy.
Yeah,
but I was like, what the hell are we doing here?
Dang, so you don't like Beyonce? You like Jay-Z?
Beyonce's got great stuff. Don't get me wrong.
You like Jay-Z? You know she's like she like almost the best.
Yeah, she definitely has one of the best resumes you'll see. But just because she has a good resume from the past does not mean you just go ahead and slide her for any award today, unless the album
that's
adds
how
up.
it worked though.
Yeah,
especially when she's selective about putting stuff out. Like she's not one of them. Like this is what bugged me. I need to go on a rant real quick. Do you ever see like famous movie stars or famous comedians? They've done they have a good body of work, right? Yeah. And then later in their career, they just bust out like 12 Netflix movies that are trash.
Yeah.
Small ones. And if you know who I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking about. But like it totally like dilutes their whole career. And like you don't really remember the bangers. You just remember you just see like them in a new Netflix movie every other week. And the movies are trash. Like you watch them, you're like, bro, I can't even get through the first 15 minutes. It's all obviously a money grab, but think about this. Like the ones that we like truly like are like, oh my gosh. Like for me at least, it's the Jim Carreys, the Denzels, the Samuel Jacksons, the ones that like really, really, really choose and select their roles really wisely. And they don't just thrust themselves into anything, but when they do, they are the top echelon. They are the elite. They always hit. So I feel like Beyonce is kind of in that category of she's not only elite still, but she like is very selective. Like she's not putting out like a bunch of albums and stuff. So like people are waiting to hear from her. So I feel like she wait like 2 years to put out an album. Every 2 years, people are gonna be like, I don't know. She's like a timeless artist to me. But
she definitely will have some more bangers to come out.
Yeah, in the country conversation, I don't even know, bro.
Well, the country one, it just felt like a bunch of people are like, the country scene has a lot of money and it's just untapped. So you're seeing a lot of artists cross over, and sometimes it's good, and I think a lot of times it's just not good. Like there's rap country. It's terrible. Maybe some people like it, but they sound terrible.
I couldn't even tell you what the songs are. It's interesting. I used to have to listen to country in high school. We used to always our baseball team, they'd always put country on during like BP and like infield outfield, and I'd be like, this music is terrible.
It is tough for like BP.
And then I come back to it and I like it.
Usually the older you get, the more you like country. There's some country songs that I'll like, yeah, that's pretty good.
There's
some not on my top of the list.
There's some bangers out there. I'll tell you what, way in every category. I think as I've gotten older, and maybe it's consistent for everyone, but I just kind of got older. I'm like, man, let's just expand our taste and everything. Like there's different foods I eat now, different music I listen to.
Maybe I need to get more of that in me. Huh? I can get a little bit more on that in me, I think. So I got those grooves so deep. Like a record player, Yeah. It's like I'm just following the grooves because they've been preset. And I've just been going around and around replaying that. It's good. It's a good record, but I could get some new ones.
You need a paradigm shift?
Yeah. Not an entire shift. Like with just a paradigm sidestep. Yeah. I like most of what I got going on.
Just a little sidestep.
Just a little sidestep. Just one groove over. Just to change it up a little bit.
I love that.
Because I will say I don't watch a whole lot of I don't listen to a whole lot of new music, and the movie scene just got awful out of nowhere.
Bro, I seen a movie yesterday and today. I rewatched the same movie from yesterday because it was just so great. It's called Whiplash. You ever seen it?
Oh, I heard good things about that.
Bro,
let me Google it real quick.
I'll tell you what. y'all need to go watch Whiplash.
Oh yeah, I've seen Whiplash. Fantastic movie.
And it's a cinematic masterpiece too. The cut scenes, the frames, like they really took their time with that. Like it wasn't like they just put some whatever. Like whoever directed that needs to. I'm sure he's well established, but the premise of the story was beautiful. If you like got past like how crazy the teacher was,
The instructor.
Yeah.
The conductor.
The conductor. He was insane.
Well, you wanted to kill that guy after a while, but at the same time, you're like, I think he's wanting good things, but the way he's going about it, like, made you as the viewer like, you can't take that almost. But at the same time, you're like, is that what it takes to be the best? And you're conflicted about it.
The only thing with that movie, the main character, I forget his name. He's a phenomenal actor. I wish they would have made
Miles Teller. He plays Andrew.
Miles, yeah, he's great. He's phenomenal. There's the scene where he's talking to the girl and he's telling her, I'm going to be one of the greats and I can't be great if I'm with you.
Yeah, that's a crazy scene.
Right? But it's almost like that's like some real like gangster conversation right there. Right? Like that's over the top. Like that's like, and I wish they would have incorporated that earlier in the movie. Cause like earlier in the movie, he seemed like super unsure of himself. And then like, I didn't know if it was like a switch that happened or this was who he was the whole time. It just seemed a little inconsistent, but everything else, I was like, man, that's how I watch movies. I'd be like, okay, why did the director do like the synchronicity? Like the drum beat that he did at the end. They actually started the movie off with that. I didn't even realize I went back and watched something.
I didn't know that either. That's another one I need to go back and watch. That is
on Netflix.
I forget it. I forget about that movie, but it is one of the best movies out there.
No, yeah.
Like it really is. It's probably, if I had to make a list, it'd probably be in top 10.
If I was a drummer or like into music, I would appreciate that probably way more.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not into that stuff at all. And I think it's crazy good.
Yeah.
Just a lot of good lessons in there. Speaking of which, might see Arkansas pull off the upset here versus Kansas. Brewington, did you fill out a bracket? I know you're not a big college hoops guy, but
I didn't. Did you?
Of course I did.
Who you got winning?
Houston.
Are they good this year?
Yeah, the 1 seed again.
Okay.
Best defense in the country. No, not technically, but in my mind, I think they're.
And Harrison's.
St. John's is with Calipari, or not Calipari, Pitino.
DJ Wagner, he's cold.
He has been playing unreal tonight for Arkansas. And I feel bad for Kansas because this is by far the best double-digit seed you could have possibly drawn. Arkansas is so good. They got 10 losses on the year, but I mean, the SEC got 14 teams into the March Madness tournament, which is unreal.
How many teams make it?
64.
Whew.
But I mean, that's like pretty much your entire conference made the tournament.
Yeah.
When you compare that to the Big Ten, we're looking at Maryland, Wisconsin, Michigan State, UCLA, and Illinois. Everybody else on the outside looking in. So SEC, maybe it's a little bit of favoritism. It's also, but then when you look at a team like Arkansas, who's a 10 seed, who's putting the work on Kansas, who Kansas showed up tonight. I mean, it was a good looking Kansas team. It's not like Kansas showed up and didn't play. It just tells you the depth of the SEC might have actually been legit, and maybe it wasn't so much favoritism. That's a big shot, though. The game's not over. I mean, it's a 3-point game with about 12 seconds left here.
Yeah, that's a big shot.
And I should keep an eye on Missouri as well, because I know that game was going down to the wire between Missouri and Drake. And man, it looks like Drake might pull off the upset here, up 39-28.
Oh boy.
Texas A&M leading comfortably versus Yale. Arkansas leading this one. Like I said, that one's only a 3-point game now, and that's pretty much the scores we got for right now. Were you ever a big March Madness guy with the family? Every time it came on, like everybody goes fill out a bracket?
No, never was.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know I just never was really a fan. I liked watching like back in the day, like Tyler Hansbrough, Ty Lawson, UNC days. But other than that, like,
I'll watch it to see like who the hell is this? Like, remember Golke last year?
Nope.
He was they were, I think, a 15 seed. They upset Kentucky, and Golke was unreal from the 3-point line and I think he made all but 2, and he has the second most 3 mays in an NCAA March Madness game.
There you go.
And no, it's just like you see those guys and you're like, who the hell is Jack Golke?
Right.
And then you're like, coming from playing from the school that you know nothing about. He's just putting in the work versus one of the best teams in the country. And then sure enough, he doesn't get drafted, but he gets an opportunity. I'd be curious where he's at now, but a shooter that good. You can play pro overseas for sure, but I think he's still somewhere around the NBA circuit. But yeah, I don't watch so much to see the superstars. I look for the upsets a lot. Like we're gonna have Omaha and St. John's coming up here next. Sorry for Omaha, that's a brutal draw to get St. John's.
Like UNO.
Yeah, UNO.
They made the tourney.
Nebraska basketball is the only Huskers are the only D1 program in state to not make the tourney.
Dang, UNO has a good team.
This year they do.
Oh wow.
Yeah, first time in
Creighton made it, of course.
Creighton made it, and they won today.
It's just those two, right? There's no other.
It's those two, and then Nebraska's on the
Right,
outside.
right.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, so it kind of hurts the soul. I'll be rooting for Omaha just to see the upset, but like I said, that's a brutal draw. St. John's is the quote unquote best defense in the entire tournament right now, and if you're Omaha, it's a lot of athleticism to deal with when you're used to playing inferior competition.
Right.
You know, they still got 10 losses on the year.
6'7" centers.
Yeah. Like they'll be, I think they'll be flashy, but I just think St. John's eventually will pull away. They're just too good defensively, and Rick Pitino is such a good head coach.
That shocked the world, man.
I'd love to see it. I got Creighton losing to Auburn next, but I wouldn't be surprised if Creighton pulls off the upset as well, because Auburn they won the game by 20, but that first half they just looked so shaky. Wasn't entirely sure where they were going to go with it. Kansas is in their feelings right now.
What was your favorite college basketball moment, like growing up, like watching and stuff?
UNC and Villanova championship was unreal.
Mm.
I think that was 2017, 2018.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably the best championship. Otherwise, St. Peter's Peacocks run was just really fun to watch.
Yeah.
UMBC Golden Retrievers upsetting the 1 seed for the first time in March Madness history. They beat Virginia Tech. When Virginia Tech was the 1 seed, and we're still in the era where nobody even thinks about the 16 seed pulling off an upset, and somehow the Retrievers.
Remember the VCU run back in 2011, maybe? Or maybe,
they were pretty good. I can't remember if that was the exact year. They lost today, unfortunately.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That was Coach Spo.
You're right.
Yeah.
No wonder.
That's how he got big. And then he went to the Heat right after that.
If you're going to start a college basketball program, what's more important, getting the right coach or getting the players?
I think it's okay.
Because money is a problem now.
Yeah, I think for the most part, I think it is the coach.
At the college level, I think it still is, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, because at the pro level, it's pretty consistent that. But coaches, coaches at the end of the day are coaches. Like you need a good coach to make some things happen, especially at the pro level too. So,
yeah, at the pro level, the challenge is are the guys going to listen to you? The coaches get fired, so the coaches become the ultimate scapegoat in the NBA.
Yeah, they did the side by side of Darvin Ham and JJ Redick, how he did a huddle, how Darvin Ham did a huddle, and how JJ Redick did a huddle, and obviously the situations were completely different, super out of context, but it just goes to the way everyone was just listening, tuned in, the attention, it was just super dramatic. There's a dramatic difference between the two.
Yeah, and it's just Ham didn't have the respect, right or wrong. He didn't have it with those guys.
Yeah,
and JJ Redick does. Helps when you're a formal player and you're not that far removed from it. The guys know you really well.
Yeah.
Also, LeBron's your best buddy and he's your best player, so you got that. You got LeBron buying into you is a big deal. That's a real thing. Because LeBron did not buy into Darvin Ham, and neither did the rest of the team.
Yeah.
If your superstar isn't down with the head coach, you're going to suffer.
Rough. It's going to be rough.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be really rough. Because, at the end of the day, guys know how it is in the locker room. Y'all going to be talking about whatever. And, hey, man, y'all going to have the group text. Y'all going to have the group FaceTimes. Y'all going to be doing all that. So, it does make sense.
All right, we'll throw it to break before. We'll wait to the end of this. We'll see what happens here with only few seconds, 10 seconds left here. Arkansas has the ball, so they're going to shoot free throws. We'll see what happens here. Actually, what we're going to do is we'll throw it to break so we can watch the end of this game. And on the other side, if you're on the stream and you can't get in front of a TV, we will give you the final score of Kansas versus Arkansas. 10 seed Kansas leading, or 10 seed Arkansas leading Kansas 75-72. Also shooting free throws right now. I do believe it's a double bonus. Yeah, double bonus. He sinks the first one. That makes it a 4-point game. Looking like a daunting task for Kansas. We'll tell you the final score of that one on the other side. Don't go anywhere. What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington?
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. And on behalf of the entire Koppel team, we would like to say thank you to all of our loyal customers and employees that have allowed us to become one of the most successful GM dealerships in the country for the past 50 years. So we are celebrating that with some huge discounts. Right now, we have up to $13,500 off MSRP or 0% APR on select new models, and new Blazer EVs are leasing for $279 a month with zero down. So check us out online at koppelcars.com. All deals with approved credit. See dealer for details.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Not many businesses can say they've made it 60 years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays. Games of bowling, shoe rental, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
Attention all wing fans! Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 89-cent boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.29 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today at 68th and O or in Williamsburg Village.
I used to smoke. I thought of cigarettes as my best friend.
They were always there for me when I needed a break.
I also thought cigarettes were my best friend, and then they gave me peripheral artery disease.
I smoked and had a stroke. Actually, multiple strokes.
I smoked and have heart disease.
Here's my tip. If cigarettes are your friend, you need a better friend.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's Aloe Fiber, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela, they let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit aloefiber.com to switch today.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
Back to What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in. What's Brewing? Chancellor Brewington, segment number 2. Talked some March Madness. Talked a little bit of weather on the first segment. 402-464-5685. As always, we got college hoops on the brick and mortar, but the stream's still going on. And if you're hearing it, that means you found it. Chancellor Brewington, what do you got for segment 2?
Okay, we got spring break right now for the Huskers. I know the guys are enjoying their break. Guys are enjoying their free time before they get into spring ball. Where are you? What position group are you most looking forward to? What guys are you most looking forward to? Obviously, the motto of the spring game is most likely changing. Don't really know what it's going to look like.
Husker games, baby.
Husker games, all that good stuff. So, what are you most excited about? I want to talk about this.
I mean, honestly, just the run game. Like Evan Johnson, the addition of the offensive line. I've always been big on keeping Donovan Rayola around as that offensive line coach. Just that's a group of guys that constantly get yelled at and had to learn like 10 different techniques all the time because we were just firing coaches left and right. And they're like, why do you guys not understand how to pick up just one scheme? And it's like, well, they've been taught 10. And they were always just kind of scapegoat. But I think they've been getting better. Kind of on the side, I think this year was probably the biggest sign of improvement. Even though we had a little bit of lull in the middle of the season, I'd say it was more so just the whole offense was out of sync, more so than it was the offensive lineman not running. But we saw Emmett Johnson in particular when Holgerson took over. That run game opened up, and he seems like the clear bell cow. Hopefully he's locked in during the spring, like you're saying, taking this stuff seriously. If he does, and if the transfer is as good as they say to be, and if the development is continuing to get better, like that can be a huge strength for us that we haven't had in forever.
Yeah, I like the running back. I'll probably say for me, linebacker position, you bring in Marquise Watson-Trent, you bring in Desan McCullough, you got Javen Wright, and you got Vincent Shavers. So those guys. Yeah,
Shavers looks like he's one of those guys pop off for a big year.
Yeah, and just making sure you can find out what each guy does well, what they're comfortable with, what they're not comfortable with. If you got one backer who's a little bit better at pass rush or a little bit better at coverage, a little bit better can play man, can play a little bit more zone coverage, whatever it is. Finding out their strengths and weaknesses during this time, and formulating some type of package for all three of them or all four of them to be on the field at once.
You still like the 3-3-5?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Just off of personnel, we don't have a real dominant end and we don't have a real dominant nose right now. I mean, people are saying, "Oh, but we have Van Papa." Well, Van Papa still has to, we
got to see it yet.
He still has to become who he needs to be, and to put that pressure and say that you have to be our guy on the D line. Like that's just kind of out there, and it's I would say it's almost unrealistic, and it's too much to put on a single guy, no matter how much upside he has.
What is the biggest weakness of a 3-3-5?
Well, I mean, if you don't have a nose, usually the nose like Nash will be a 0, and he'll cause the center to need help in some type of way. And so I would say there,
because if he's not, requiring help, those lanes are going to be pretty easy to.
Block. So the nose is really meant to take up the guard in the center in some type of way,
right?
To free up the backers behind them, and then I would say also. Just in the run game in certain ways, Nebraska looked like, at least under White, that they weren't playing like real gaps. Like linebackers had certain gaps.
Right.
Usually that's the case in, usual like 4-3, 3-4, like your real gap sound. And it seemed like everyone just kind of flowed to the football in that defense. So moving forward, I think that will play into Nebraska's favor a lot more, being a little bit more technical with the gaps and stuff like that. But also like getting push up front, like and pass rush as well. Like you don't have to hop in, you don't have to send a backer to get pass rush. You already have 4 linemen or 3 linemen outside linebacker down. And so it kind of adds an element there. You can play around with the backers a little bit too. So yeah.
And then if you were okay, so you said linebackers feel like a strength. Give me the biggest weakness on defense then, outside of the nose. Because the nose, I'm not going to say it's a weakness. We just haven't quite seen it yet.
Yeah, it's hard to put the finger on it, but I would say probably corners right now, and that's just being nitpicky. You got Wright out there. You got Hartzog. You got Andrew Marshall, another transfer, I believe. I forget his name. But so you got transfers coming in. I think the biggest thing is finding the guy who you can leave on an island to the field. Like kind of knowing if you're going to play field and boundary, if you're going to put your guy that can, a little bit more run support. I would say like that's a hard dog. Like
I was gonna say, can Cia Wright be that guy? Because there's times where it looked like he had it, and other times he just completely, I don't want to say completely out of position, but he had some moments where he was getting caught for sure.
Yeah, well, I'm saying like in the run game. So I would put the guy who's a little bit better. Like this, what we did. It's a dramatic example, but Cam Taylor-Britt, like we would put him into the boundary.
You could trust him.
Put cute. Well, it's more so in the run game. So I mean, it's the short side of the field. So if anyone runs thinking they can run on a corner, well, you got Cam Taylor-Britt. He's probably the best tackling corner in college football that year, right? So it's just smart. And then you have Quinn Newsome, a little bit, a sure cover guy. Like Q's not going to get burnt. Like he's always going to be on someone's hip, right? Like it's just
and the tape says he was.
Yeah.
He was one of the best guys we've had in a while.
Yeah, and so I think finding out who those guys are, especially if you're not doing the 3-3-5, and then honestly having a Singleton back and Buford back, having those guys back, I think that's the key. And I think the reason 3-3-5 has a weakness is because you don't have a rover. Unless you have one that I can't identify. Because out of everyone, I would say the only one who has the motor to do it is Buford. But I don't know if he has the body to do it for the whole season and stay healthy. Because I'm not saying he's injury prone, but to throw your shoulder and to just like there's just a bunch of things like you have to do at that position. I mean, maybe Deshaun Singleton, but like I think he would flourish better at strong safety or free safety. But other than that, I think Giff was just one of the most perfect guys for that position. And like he's a rare football player. So you have to like kind of it's body type, it's motor, it's size, it's speed, it's coverage, it's IQ, it's feel for the game, it's communication, it's leadership. So that rover position is dime a dozen. Like the other guy I thought would have been really good would be like a JoJo Doman. Like from back in the day, I thought he would have been a perfect rover in a 3-3-5. But like that type of body type, that type of player, we won't have that. So unless you have it, and I don't know. But I think that's why going away from 3-3-5 might work to your favor.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit in here and act like I'd be able to draw that up and see if it's worth it. I mean, you'd have to do it right then and now, or is it already getting too late?
Yeah, I would say it's not too late because I mean. Guys, I've seen coaches, do something all spring and change it.
Right.
So it's not too late. It
depends on what you told the guys you're recruiting to on that 3-3-5, like what their role was, I'd imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like solid coach feel, and Butler's gonna do what he believes is gonna win football games. And obviously Rule's an interesting and a special coach because he kind of has played and coached most positions. Like he's been offensive coach, like he's been a tight ends coach, like he's been a special teams coach, like, and so like it's not like a guy where you have a coach who comes in and he's only been on the offense side of the ball. That's why I like Frost a lot, was because he played quarterback, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he went to NFL and played DB. And so he knew about tackling. He knew about like all these different things. He knew a little bit about like each position and, the hand control, body control, special teams. Like he knew all of it. So he could coach a wide variety of things and also have like the foundation of like quarterback. Right. So, I think the best coaches are like that, that have like a very, very, very wide general knowledge of football, and then they have like some specialties that like you can tell, like obviously Frost wants to talk about the option, right? Or like there's other coaches that want to talk about this because that's what they're good at. But I think the coaches that have the really, really wide general knowledge of just football in general. And I think Rule has that. I think that's why probably it might be, I don't know if it's easier or harder to coach under Rule because of that. Because probably, I mean, you have to think if a head coach has coached your position that you're coaching, that probably adds a heightening factor of,
he's got an understanding of what you're doing.
yeah, and hey, why are you doing this drill?
Mhm.
So you probably have to be on your P's and Q's a little bit, but that would push you to be a better coach, right? That's
when he's the CEO essentially now. To me, that's one of the biggest strengths. Maybe tough on the payroll, but I mean, we talk about all the time. You get a new OC, Dana. Satterfield's still here.
Yeah.
You get a new special teams coordinator. Well, Ed Foley's still here. Defensive coordinator is John Butler, but let's bring in Phil Snow too, just to oversee that even more.
Yeah.
You just we added a bunch of guys. We didn't actually lose a lot. And it's let's go ahead and get Patrick Stewart as well. We'll get a GM in it. So now it's we got coaches, talking about the knowledge and vast amount of knowledge that they can bring in. The problem is, well, I shouldn't say the problem. The key is going to be, are you pulling the right information out of those guys? And that's Matt Rule's job as CEO. Pretty similar to what Ryan Day had at Ohio State. He was more of that CEO role because that coaching staff was deep. And he was able to just kind of pull back and basically do what I think Rule's going to do this year. You mentioned he's kind of got to tapped into a little bit of everything, what those guys done. He's done it in the past. So the CEO role is going to be interesting. Is that kind of the proper fit that you think more universities will lean into now, especially with the GM in there and trying to manage
the CEO?
I mean, he's a CEO coach because he's not in charge of the offense necessarily. He's not in charge of the defense necessarily. He's not in charge of the special teams. So what is he? He's overseeing all those position groups, essentially a CEO.
Oh, okay. I see what you're going. Yeah, I think.
Whereas Frost was clearly involved in the offense until people said,
right,
get Lubick. And even then it was still, you just couldn't quite figure it out.
Right. I think it's interesting. From my journey and from what I've heard from other coaches, I think the coach that is neither offense nor defense and not special teams, I think it's easier to play for a coach like that. Because think about it. If you're a defense guy, I'm an offensive guy, and the coach is a defensive player, he's always on your side. He's in your meetings. You guys know him a little bit more. And all of a sudden, let's say practice, right? And defense messes up, right? They're going to run that play over. We're going to have to run that play over again for them, right? And when we mess up, it's not going to be as big of a deal. Why? Because the coach is in the defensive meetings, knows what the defense knows what defense is going on. Obviously, a good head coach will know what the offense is doing as well. But I just think the neutral coach wins the team a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you get in the locker room oh, y'all only did that because, the coach pulling for you on this side because this and this. But it definitely works, though. I mean, you got Andy Reid. You got all these coaches who do what's the Eagles head coach?
Sirianni.
Yeah, it's proven. It's proven that it's not like the neutral head coach doesn't win, and it's not like the offense defense specific coach doesn't win either. So it's really up in the air and how the guys respond and how hands-on are you, because that can also be super demoralizing for OC when you're not letting your OC do anything.
Which we've probably ran into that before. It's not stuff that's gonna go to the podium though. I was just getting tired of him, so I took over on play calling.
Yeah,
it's always a little bit behind the locker room discussion, which the OC is an easy scapegoat for a lot of things, but I am still happy that Satterfield's on staff, because I'd imagine there's some guys that were buying into what he was doing, and it's easy to say he was the problem of it all, but there's other times where, I mean, I don't know. Real quick before we go to break here, what do you make of the whole Satterfield? Why it wasn't working with him? Because that's important to understand why it didn't work with him and why it is going to work with Dana.
I would just say didn't call plays to the player's strengths. That's really what it was, in my opinion. I think could have used Raul a little bit better. Could have used Emmett Johnson a little bit better. Could have helped the O-line out a little bit more. I mean, I think it was we're running this and you guys fit this, instead of examine the players we have, draw something up for them, help them fit a scheme or build a scheme around them. I don't know. That's just from the outside looking in.
We don't know all the details. And sometimes too, you see this all the time in the NBA, and I do think Dana Holgorsen definitely pointed some things out that were missing before, but even if that wasn't the case, like when you start piling up a bunch of tough losses, sometimes it's like not even anything different. It's just a different voice. And all of a sudden you're like, okay, well then now we got a different leader in the room. Even if it's not too far off what you've been doing, there's a little bit more belief in it. It's like, okay, this thing's different now. Like now we got some change in here, regardless of like how significant that change is. Like in the NBA, you'll see a mid-season coach not really do a whole lot different, but that team just starts winning ball games like crazy. You know, a lot of times you'll bring in a veteran coach like Doc Rivers and you start losing games when you get to the playoffs. So I think it could have been a little bit of that too, but I certainly think Dana Holgorsen is a big part of why that offense took off so much. Like, I mean, it was that Wisconsin game. We dropped 44 on them. When was the last time we dropped more than 30 on Wisconsin?
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, so that's an achievement. It's something that gives me probably the most faith out of last season was that game versus Wisconsin. And then even in Boston versus Boston College, like, yeah, it wasn't super pretty all the time, but they did enough, which in years past, we've seen that offense fizzle out in the biggest moments. With that being said, we'll throw it to our second break here. What's Brewing, Chancellor Brewington? Don't go anywhere.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Husker fans, excited for some softball action at Bowlin Stadium this year, but can't commit to a full season ticket? They've got you covered. Introducing the On Deck Deal. Snag tickets to 5 Husker home games for as little as $30. This partial season lets you choose any 5 games, including one from the Maryland series. Whether you prefer general admission or reserve seating, packages start at just $30. Get your On Deck Deal today at huskers.com/tickets. Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at doorsplusllc.com or give them a call at 402-590-5800.
You hungry? You know you are. We got chicken fingers, crunchy, fries are golden crispy, baby. Yo, don't forget about the cane sauce, baby. Ooh, right, it hits the spot. Hello.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Hey everyone, Lance here with Black Label. We specialize in creating custom crafted decks, pergolas, patio covers, and more. Plus, our retractable screens, gazebos, and patio enclosures create the ultimate outdoor retreat. With over 50 years of combined experience, we're not just builders, we're creators of unforgettable memories.
Call them today at 402-730-6333 or visit blacklabelbuilt.com for a free consultation.
Let's turn your backyard dreams into reality.
Black Label Built, built to serve, built to last.
I used to smoke. I thought a cigarette is my best friend.
They were always there for me when I needed a break.
I also thought cigarettes were my best friend, and then they gave me peripheral artery disease.
I smoked and had a stroke. Actually, multiple strokes.
I smoked and have heart disease.
Here's my tip. If cigarettes are your friend, you need a better friend.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Travis with Midwest Bank, now with 2 branches conveniently serving Lincoln and 8 other locations across Nebraska. We're here to help you with any of your needs. From opening a checking account to buying a home or financing your business, our staff is here for you. Stop in and you might see Shin Daddy himself. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank, member FDIC.
Well, it's the middle of winter, the holidays are over, and the weather is unpredictable. Isn't there anything to look forward to? You bet there is! Cash Blast from your Nebraska Lottery is back! Until April 1st, buy a 2x2 ticket and enter the voucher number online for a chance to win one of 7 weekly drawings for $5,000 or $500. And if your voucher is from a 7-day draw ticket, your prize is doubled. Hey, there's nothing like a little green to cure the winter blues. 2x2 top prize odds, 1 in 105,000.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and on behalf of the entire Koppel team, we would like to say thank you to all of our loyal customers and employees that have allowed us to become one of the most successful GM dealerships in the country for the past 50 years. So we are celebrating that with some huge discounts. Right now, we have up to $13,500 off MSRP or 0% APR on select new models, and new Blazer EVs are leasing for $279 a month with 0 down. So check us out online at koppelcars.com. All deals with approved credit. See dealer for details.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
At Planet Fitness, we're declaring it. This is the year of getting stronger. And future stronger you can get started now by saving $28 or more when you join today. You in? We have all the best in-class equipment you could ever need to keep stepping it up. And free fitness training to help you mix up your routine. Plus, most clubs are open 24 hours. So let's do this. Join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more. Just $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends February 28th. See Home Club for details.
Back to What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in. Final segment, What's Brewing, Chancellor Brewington. Got some close games coming down our way here. Number 6 Missouri climbed all the way back. There's about 4 minutes, 30 seconds left to play. 51-52. Looked like Drake, which was one of the upsets that everyone picked. So I don't know how much of an upset you can call it, but Missouri hanging on, down just by 1. You got UCLA leading Utah State 25-22, about 8 minutes. Let me check my eyes here. 6 minutes, 30 seconds left to go in that first half. Omaha St. John's underway. And as we mentioned earlier, Arkansas does pull off the upset versus the Rock Chalk Jayhawks. Best double-digit seed in the tournament so far, just based on what I've seen. Probably the best game so far in the tournament was Arkansas and Kansas. So if you're a Kansas fan, that one's tough. Every now and then you're going to run into a double-digit seed that looks like they should be at least a top 5 seed, and that was certainly Arkansas today. Only a few minutes left here, Brewington. Floor's yours.
Floor is mine. Well, I appreciate everyone listening. We're just talking about Husker football and all that good stuff. The GM position is probably the most intriguing hire for me so far.
Is that almost like a need in today? Like if you want to be a big boy school, it almost feels like you need a GM. Yeah, it's a lot of paperwork flying around to keep track of.
Yeah, you do, because at the end of the day, now you're having to deal with the retention rate of each year when it gets around late November. I mean, the conversations of guys leaving and guys coming in, they're real, and you have to account for them. And so you need someone to account for them. You need someone to, I mean, under the GM you're going to have assistant GM, you're going to have scouts, you're going to have all these different people preparing for having tough conversations. Right. Yeah. And I wonder if that's what you need. And negotiating. How
many people got promised money that didn't get the money because there was no one actually keeping a good eye on the amount of money flowing through.
Yeah. So let's say, Harrison, you want 300,000 this year.
I want $1 million.
Okay. Well, I don't think there's probably only one player making $1 million on Nebraska roster right now.
All right, so then that's a hard conversation that needs to be had.
Right. So then we're gonna have to sit down and say, okay, let's look at the numbers real quick. Well, a player of your caliber, well, let's just say a starter, you play this amount of games, your projected value is, $450K, right? That's all we can give you. And so if that's not, then we can talk to whatever. And guess what? Now you have to bring your agent, right? Your agent's gonna talk to the GM, and so the player coach relationships are probably gonna drift a little bit.
Yeah. But also you get a guy like Stewart who's gonna have a much better pulse on what the NAL market looks like. So he can be more real when he's talking, because if that's his only job, I'd imagine he has a good idea on what Ohio State's gonna offer, what Michigan would offer.
Yeah, but that's his job. I'm just saying, like, if we're having like the one-on-one meetings, like my agent, your agent's already going to talk to the GM before you have the meeting, right? And so like the GM position is probably going to be super hectic, and it's necessary, but I think guys that model the NFL faster are going to win faster too.
Well, that's what I always say about like Nebraska football. If we ever want to get back to being an actual top dog in it, that's why I love the Patrick Stewart hire. Like, you got to be innovative. That's what always takes programs to the next level. Yeah, Tom Osborne back in the day was strength and conditioning. It's almost laughable to think that wasn't a thing in the past, but he's like, what if we got our guys big? Like, actually put them on a strength program and got them lifting, got them faster and stronger in the offseason, and made it, maybe it sucks because, in other schools they wouldn't have to do that, but tell you what, made Nebraska just an absolute contender. The option game back in the day, that's how Nebraska was innovative there too. They whipped out the option, did it better just about anybody else. And all of a sudden that was just breaking teams down left and right. Nebraska has been kind of floundering between wanting to hold on to the past, but also at the same time not doing anything different. So it's just kind of like, yeah, you're jack of all trades, master of none. Now, at least with the GM, it's different than being innovative on the football field in terms of X's and O's, but it's a position that not every university is going to have that advantage. It's an advantage that you can at least have over other universities. We haven't necessarily had any advantages in the past you could point to outside of, our sellout, but does that result to wins? Obviously not. Otherwise it wouldn't have taken so long to go to a bowl game. Helps with the NIL funding, helped us to set us up in a situation today because our fanfare is that good. So that is an advantage more today than it ever was in the past. But the next big advantage, I think that GM, you just need anything you can to separate yourself from other universities. That's one of them. So I think it's a great move.
Yeah. Like you said, I mean, the more advantages, keep stacking them, because at the end of the day, those add up. I mean, it's just those are little things like that add up. I mean, the 90,000 is a big thing, of course, but the more little things you can surround that with, the resources, the facilities, you
could even argue the 90,000 was like a smaller thing, but it was like great for the money wise, but without being able to pay players, you could use it for the facilities for sure. But like, there's no way to really use that to your advantage.
Back in the
day.
Like
today, it's a game changer.
Yeah, I would say recruiting
a
little bit.
Recruiting big time, but now it's like a major advantage.
Yeah, now it's a staple. Yeah,
because that money coming in, I mean, you need it.
Talk nice to you.
Yeah, it's crazy to me what I think the NIL money. Like, even as we wrap up the show here, college basketball. And I was talking to Marty Pearsonell about this. Like, the numbers going around are, if you want a good player, even just a starter, we're not talking a superstar. We're talking like $500,000 to $1 million just for like one starter, not a superstar. Like, that's crazy. So if you're Troy Dannon,
let me ask you this: what do you think I know the answer. Okay, so what is the average Big Ten starting running back making?
That's a good question. Football, I'm a little bit more foggy on. I'm gonna guess starting running back, I'm gonna guess $500,000.
Okay.
What's the ballpark?
It's like 650.
650.
So like established guy. Like established, like top 7 running back. Like,
yeah, then I can definitely see like 650 and maybe even above that.
Yeah.
Especially when you see some of the quarterback wide receiver numbers.
And it really depends on what school. Because if you're in the Oregon, Ohio State, Michigan category, those 3, and SC, if you're in those 4, now that number is probably around 750 to $1 million. But yeah, the numbers are crazy nowadays.
Yeah, you give it to the university to help out with that NIL chunk of change. You get those letters.
You said, did I give?
Yeah, every time I get those letters, it just cracks me up, and I'm like, I get to $20.
You said, will I give to the university?
No, I'm not gonna ask you that open. I'm just saying, when you get those,
I ain't giving nothing.
Yeah, I always think about those letters, and I'm like, I could help you out, but I don't know if $20 is going to sway the next guy sign up to be a Husker here.
Give him a little dub piece.
Yeah. With that being said, we'll go ahead and get out of here. Omaha just tipped off versus St. John. So if you're looking for the upset of all upsets, that's certainly a game to tune into. Just tipped off. That one's underway now. And be sure to stop in tomorrow. Let me go ahead and hit loop on the soundtrack here because I want to be sure everybody knows what they can do. So tomorrow, again, 11 to 6 p.m., Buffalo Wings and Rings, 68th and O location. The Pongs have already been sold, but you can still go there, hang out with the guys, enjoy the company, and maybe even win some prizes as well if you are one of those lucky few who got the ping pong ball. That's going to do it for us. Appreciate you guys listening. Have a great rest of your night.
Stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures, but buying new is awfully expensive.